Attempts to fly vehicles to the top floor were being denied. Most likely, the subversives could see the elevator rising, at least digitally. Those on the top floor were probably preparing for the arrival of the Titans. Alistair always wondered what that felt like, knowing fate had decided your time to die was here, and you could do nothing about it. For Alistair and his Titans, there were less dangerous ways to go about putting these subversives down. They could have simply used the mech suit's jets to fly to the correct level, but that didn't fit the purpose. Control, indeed, the Commonwealth as a whole, wanted the subversives to understand they had no hope. Once they were found, the entire building they occupied quit obeying their commands and would only obey controls. Thus, the elevator's slow creep upward, moving toward fate. The mech suits were climate-controlled. Alistair kept his at a crisp 65 degrees, regardless of his body temperature, yet he felt a drop of sweat run down his brow. You're scared, he thought, and not of the subversives. You're scared they know, and if they do, then fate has come for you, hasn't it? Activate HUDs, Ares commanded from Alistair's right. He meant the heads-up displays that formed outside the mech suit's helmet, overlaying augmented reality onto whatever the Titan looked at. Odin, you ready? Odin was Alistair's call sign, and Ares was what the man next to him answered to. Locked in, Alistair responded as the elevator rolled to a smooth stop. Control, he said into the comm that linked back to the digital bay. Open doors. Overhead, there was a soft ding, and the doors opened, splitting down the middle. The two Titans in front moved out, their mech pulses sweeping the area. Alistair and Ares stepped out next, Alistair's pulse at eye level, his fears from before gone. He had turned into his call sign, the name by which he was known as from one side of the world to the other, from Earth to the very farthest reaches of the Commonwealth, the ice planet Pluto. Alistair Kane was Odin, the modern-day god of war and justice. The HUD overlaying his vision showed heat traces where the subversives were scattering, running behind doors and down hallways, doing anything to stay away from the Titans. From fate. Alistair glanced to his right, noting that Ares was too close to him. At the same moment, he saw the elevator door had closed behind him. Both of those things were against protocol. Alistair didn't know if Ares realized he'd noticed, so he turned his pulse toward a door showing a subversive's traces. There's no need, Ares said from behind. His voice was masked now. In case anything was being recorded, it would be impossible to tell who'd been inside the suit. There's no one here, Odin. Just us. Alistair didn't turn around. He didn't need to. The room made sense now. His HUD couldn't see through this type of construction material, meaning he couldn't actually see the subversives, only their traces, and those had been placed here before the Titans began their trip up in the elevator. The other two Titans came back from their false chase. They'd only been awaiting Ares' signal. Alistair lowered his pulse so the barrel faced the ground. One of the strangers spoke. Careful, Odin. Don't think about grabbing that whip. Ares' voice was like iron. You're not here to talk, so don't do it again. Alistair knew why the stranger had spoken. He was scared. He knew of Odin, and he knew how much death Odin could cause if he unleashed the whip that was 2 inches from his fingers. Alistair dropped his head to the right so that he could half see his partner. You're going to kill me? Is that supposed to strike a chord with me? His partner asked. I'm not going to kill you, Odin. You killed yourself when you listened to the subversives. Alistair's eyes found the new Titans. Were they really Titans, or just people wearing suits to help finish the job? Control probably didn't think Odin was capable of what he'd done in the past, so they believed Ares could take him out by himself. Those two were most likely here to reinforce for Odin that he had no chance of survival. The newcomer stood 12 feet from him. A pulse hit from here would evaporate a human, but Alistair would survive inside the mech suit. It would be damaged, without a doubt, but he'd live. What do you think the subversives told me, Ares?